On June 23rd, 2025, a tearful husband shared a message to his wife's 5 million followers.
Mikayla Rains passed away.
And the cause of her tragic passing was put squarely on a specific crowd, a subreddit that went too far. This caused outrage among fans.
What the f*** is actually wrong with you people? What the actual f*** is wrong with you?
And soon enough, a virtual manhunt was underway for the people who were allegedly responsible for Mikayla's passing. But what did these Redditors do to be accused of being responsible for Mikayla Rains' death? And is this proof that Reddit snark pages need to be shut down? This video contains discussion of sensitive topics, including mental health struggles and the taking of one's own life. However, certain scenes will not be described due to their disturbing and triggering nature. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. In order to abide by YouTube's terms, certain words are rephrased or censored throughout this video. Thank you for your understanding. If you or someone you know is struggling, you are not alone. Visit findahelpline.com to find free, confidential support wherever you are in the world. For those who are unfamiliar, snark pages are subreddits that are dedicated to, well, for lack of a better term, snark. Typically, these pages take aim at specific influencers or celebrities, highlighting their faults, their scandals, and in some cases, their red flags. For example, snark pages for social media accounts like Ren Eleanor and 8 Passengers have been incredibly helpful in holding these momfluencers accountable and drawing attention to potential child endangerment.
I'm not sure how this conspiracy theory got started and spiraled out of control. What you need to know is that no law enforcement agencies I conferred with, including the FBI, have found any proof that my daughter's likeness appears on inappropriate websites.
However, there are other subreddits that are known for taking snarking to extremes. This includes the snark page for YouTuber Ethan Klein, where he revealed Child Protective Services did a welfare check at his home after receiving an anonymous call about his kids being exposed to feces and getting viruses, which Ethan explained was not true, that Snarkers took a poop joke out of context.
What's truly, despicable to me is the fact that, you hear so often that CPS, that they're not always...
They're underfunded.
Yes, and also it always, seeps through the cracks for some reason.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they were so on it here, it's like that could have gone to a family that really needed it and a child that really needed to be saved.
Around the same time, an anonymous package was delivered to Ethan's home address. Inside, 2 human skulls.
There's nothing fun or chill about doing this job anymore, and it's been that way for 2 years.
YouTuber Trisha Pis has also been targeted over the years by a snark page that claimed to have good intentions.
It became scary, the fact that they thought they were, one, trying to hold me accountable by just making fun of the way I look and the way my husband looks. Okay, what? Second, if you think you're trying to protect my daughter, why are you doxing her house? Why are you wishing for her house to go away or the school she'd go to? It's scary that, but the delusion was real there.
But how can creators protect themselves against a faceless enemy? Snark pages are notoriously difficult to police, but this hasn't stopped some from trying. Ethan Klein recently launched a war against snark, going after the mods of his snark page with legal action. Think that's dedication? Trisha Pis spent over a year reporting her snark page every day until, eventually, the platform took action and removed the subreddit.
But I hope that they, continue to take this seriously for everyone. It's been brutal, it's been really difficult, and I've been on social media for 16 years and never have I experienced the doxing, the harassment, the just downright hate.
And according to Mikayla Rains' husband, Ethan Frankamp, that's exactly what his wife Snarkers succeeded in doing.
Hi everyone. I just want to start this video out by saying parental advisory. This is not a video for children, and a trigger warning. Some of the things you're about to hear are going to be triggering for some people.
The teary-eyed video upload to the SaveAFox YouTube channel 3 days after Mikayla's death was a dramatic shift from the rescue content the wildlife charity was known for.
They came from a pet surrender situation, and it was mentioned that they could potentially be pelted if we did not take them. So I'm just very glad that they contacted us first before going that route. And we are with Chowder and Cassie, and we're gonna introduce them to the adult foxes. So they're already really excited. So let's see how they do.
Oh my goodness. Who's hungry? Who's hungry? Oh my gosh.
As someone who had been fostering animals since she was just 19 years old, this was more than a passion project. It was Mikayla's purpose. And that meant her absence in the upload wasn't just shocking, it was eerie. Unfortunately, Ethan wasn't here to soothe fears.
This is a video I never planned on making. Mikayla Rains passed away.
He revealed Mikayla had taken her life, leaving behind both wildlife and her husband and 3-year-old daughter, Freya. The loss was devastating.
She put the animals' well-being over her own time and time again. She would forgo sleep, eating, and showering if there was an animal that needed her help. Every single animal here just lost their best friend.
How could someone who was so full of life suddenly be gone?
So thank you guys so much for supporting us.
Mikayla may have been known as the Fox Whisperer to the public. However, in private, she was struggling.
She was always in and out of different kinds of therapy, trying various mood stabilizers and meds, but nothing really seemed to help.
Mikayla had autism, depression, and borderline personality disorder, and while this increased sensitivity allowed her to bond with animals, it also made her vulnerable to not only the ups and downs of a life lived online.
You guys only see what you see from a social media perspective, and I work so much that the time I actually get to spend with my animals is time I spend recording my time with them, which really actually just takes away the moment.
But to online berating as well.
Most of these are people she knew, and some of them are other animal sanctuaries. They consistently spread ridiculous claims and rumors, but she felt as if the entire world had turned against her.
As for those who were responsible for making Mikayla feel like she had no other option, her husband had this to say.
I wish you understood what you were doing before you did it, before it had to go this far. And I wish you understood that words do have real and terrible consequences.
But what kind of people would drive a young woman to take her own life? That was the mystery the internet was determined to solve. Mikayla's Snarkers were mainly spread across 2 platforms, Reddit and Tumblr. On these websites, they positioned themselves as animal advocates who were drawing attention to practices at SaveAFox that they saw as concerning. But were these users holding Mikayla accountable or terrorizing her? According to Snarkers, SaveAFox was allegedly guilty of exploiting animals by breeding them in captivity rather than acting as a safe haven for animals in need. They also claimed Mikayla's rescue wasn't about helping animals at all, but creating content and hoarding foxes for clout. One Reddit user posted, "Can someone please tell her raising in captivity isn't your damn backyard?" Another user critiqued, "Her pinned post at the moment is begging for donations because she can barely afford to feed her foxes." Whenever Mikayla made a mistake, they were there to catch it. Yes, the Snarkers were constantly keeping score. Whether it was by spending weeks obsessively documenting every injury.
Mira is about 11 years old. She's very sweet for a bobcat. She is going to need a toe amputation from what we have seen from her x-rays. And we are just asking if you guys can help with her first vet bill.
Medical issue.
Waverly doesn't have much longer with us. If you guys missed some of the other posts, she has bone cancer, and it's pretty progressive.
Or death of an animal in Mikayla's care.
Felix passed away a little while ago. It was on New Year's, and it's taken me so long to do this because I had to
my own heartbreak on the situation.
Despite these incidents clearly weighing heavily on Mikayla,
All the trauma of loss over the years. Like, I'm not bouncing back anymore. I don't feel passion or happiness. Or like drive to keep going. I just feel a lot of pain.
Snarkers continued scanning through footage for evidence of animal mistreatment, even if Mikayla was simply shooing a fox away, and even tracking Mikayla and her husband's purchases. But if you think that's overstepping, just wait. See, Mikayla had an OnlyFans account where she shared photos of herself in racy clothing, but she never posted anything with adult toys and never got intimate with other creators like other OF models typically do. This venture made some speculate that this was a way to pay bills that she wouldn't otherwise be able to afford, after dedicating so much of her time and money to the rescue. Yet rather than applaud the mother for finding a way to keep a roof over her family's head, Snarkers were constantly finding reasons to shame her. This included one user suggesting she was better suited for a career in adult content than animal rescue. You had a fox lose a leg a year ago and you just now fixed the fencing? And you think that makes you look good? Stop taking in new animals. Get your shit figured out. You could do well, but your head is too far up your own ass to do so. If you don't want to deal with the public, then maybe just stick to OF. Other users allegedly took their comments a step further by accusing Mikayla of SAing her animals. Their evidence? Animals were in the background of some of her provocative photos. Whether their critiques were valid or entirely fabricated, Snarkers prided themselves on dragging Mikayla's ass to hell and back. Being blocked by Mikayla quickly became a badge of honor, and some users even toyed with the idea of calling CPS on Mikayla and her husband in a plot to have their daughter taken away from them. And if you think these constant attacks, exaggerations, and lies escaped Mikayla's notice, think again. She often commented on Reddit posts, attempting to set the record straight and let users see her side. According to Mikayla's husband, even though she would always see so many positive comments on stuff she was doing, she took the negative ones very personally. And by June 20th, it all became too much to bear. Following Mikayla's tragic passing, over 20,000 people signed a petition for the Snark page to be shut down. It was her husband's hope that at least one good thing would come out of her passing. Snarkers would finally take the accountability for their actions.
If the people that did this can have the time to self-reflect on what they've said and what they've done, and how just a simple comment online can be such a personal thing to someone else that's reading it.
But self-reflection isn't what happened. Instead, Snarkers continued to defend themselves. Exposing someone's actions is information. It is not a threat. I don't know why people can't see that. She was an animal abuser and hoarder. She stole people's money to buy expensive cars and vacations. She used the animals for OnlyFans. She was not a good person. I'm not happy she is dead. It's a tragedy for her family, and all lives are worth living. Anyone sending death threats is a monster, but she wasn't some hero of animal rehab. Some Snarkers were even caught celebrating Mikayla's death, suggesting the animals were better off. But what the internet found most disturbing was the reaction from one of Mikayla's biggest critics, a Reddit user we will call KL. The Reddit user posted that they didn't appreciate being blamed for Mikayla's death. They claimed that following the announcement of Mikayla's passing, their notice have been overflowing with her meat riders. People have obsessively brigaded my posts and comments on various subs. You people are calling me slurs, threatening to dox me, and telling me to take my life as well, and somehow you're the good guys. I bet if I were to actually take my life, you would be very quiet. Yes, from KL's post, it was clear they saw themselves as the victim in this situation. As for Mikayla, well, they weren't exactly in mourning. When I first found out what happened, in the very heat of the moment, I felt no remorse. Following this, they admitted that they did begin to feel a pit in their stomach. However, since the public turned against them, they claimed that guilt was disappearing. And their next statement made it clear that they weren't afraid to speak ill of the dead. Another thing I've seen is people pulling the autism card. Newsflash, autism doesn't give you impunity from animal mistreatment. I should know since I have it too. If Mikayla cannot be blamed for her fox's easily preventable deaths, then I cannot be blamed for her own death. They went on to claim that they were simply compiling information that other users had given them, which from their perspective wasn't harassment. Instead, they suggested that Ethan made it clear in his video that the loudest voices affecting Mikayla were people she knew and other animal sanctuaries. However, a comment left from Ethan using Mikayla's account confirmed that she was affected by the anonymous online hate. Reddit has often been a place that would really bring Mikayla down. Despite her only trying to bring safety and health to hopeless animals, there was always negativity on this platform, and I hated for her to be here. She didn't deserve what happened, and I will never forget the names of the people that pushed her to the breaking point. Please, just be kind to people. It's not hard. Yet, for some, kindness didn't just seem hard, but impossible. KL ended their post not with an apology, but by telling their haters to get a f***ing life, and they didn't stop there. In another Reddit post titled, "I'm not backing down, fuck off," made their stance gruesomely clear. You act like I ended Mikayla. All I did was put together a few sources pointing out some things she did wrong. I had no hand in online berating of any kind. And even if they did, the Redditor claimed this was no excuse for the insults, the attempts at doxing, and the request for them to take their own life. Yes, the internet wanted vengeance for Mikayla, and that included unmasking her anonymous cyber mobbers. One user responded to KL's post. Everyone will forever know KL as the insensitive cretin who contributed to the death of a wonderful person. Yet KL didn't seem too worried. This will die down in a month. In response, Ethan commented, I won't say anything negative because I am advocating against that, but I will say this, I won't forget. And neither would the internet. Following Mikayla's death, various social media users began digging up posts from Snarkers and screenshotting and archiving what they said. This meant that despite the SaveAFox Snark page going private and later being banned, the posts remain. And reading through these archives exposed an obsession that many found unsettling. One Reddit user commented, I don't understand how these people have this much time to be mean. Another user replied, it's the thing in life that brings them pleasure and a sense of purpose. You know that feeling you get when you cook something nice for yourself or help a friend? They get it from attacking people from the safety of their gaming chair. But the public wasn't just disappointed.
I just don't know what is happening in your life, but for you to pull somebody else down to your level, you need help.
And there are people online that all they care about is just saying something to hurt another person. You don't know who the other person is on the other side of the screen and what they're dealing with. I hope the people that hate her one day have the compassion to regret what they did.
People were enraged.
Her into unaliving herself. What the actual... Y'all deserve the worst. I hope you feel every ounce of pain that she did and then some. You.
On Reddit, users pointed out the hypocrisy. These motherfuckers care about the animals so much, they drove an advocate into the grave and ensured the euthanasia of many animals. Self-righteous idiot cowards unwilling to do hard work, but slavering to criticize those that do. May they all drink the broken glass of their own actions. And in the words of one sickened Tumblr user, if you ever harassed her, made a call-out post about her, or contributed to either, you have blood on your hands. But, of course, the internet didn't want to just call Mikayla's cybermobbers out. They wanted justice. And if they weren't going to receive it in a court of law, they'd just have to make their own. And so, beyond archiving and screenshotting posts, social media users began searching for the IRL identities of SaveAFox Snarkers. So far, 2 notorious critics have reportedly been unmasked. KL and the alleged primary moderator and creator of /SaveAFox Snark, who we will call PE. Following these discoveries, a member of the group that supposedly uncovered the Snarkers' identities posted a warning to Reddit. You were both dumb enough to post personal photos on your accounts that could be geolocated with a bit of sleuthing. You will face legal repercussions for Mikayla's death. We know all of your identifying information. I will not divulge this information here as it would break Reddit TOS, but we are doing the right thing with the info and giving it to the people needed to bring a civil case against you. SaveAFox Foundation will be able to bring down a lawsuit from hell on both of you. You could expect court dates being delivered within a month or 2. As for Snarkers from other platforms, well, according to the poster, at least one user was on their radar. However, they claim they were currently dealing with someone who was in Mikayla's inner circle. For now, there have been no further updates on legal action against the online attackers. What we do know is, SaveAFox continues to operate, but it's hardly business as usual. Ethan has taken over for his wife at the rescue.
I will not let Mikayla's light be extinguished. And I won't let negativity win. And I won't let her mission fall apart.
Carrying on Mikayla's legacy, however, hasn't been easy.
Half of me is missing.
In the caption of an Instagram video taken at SaveAFox, Ethan also wrote, "I'm trying to make up for the absence of their favorite person. I can't explain it to the animals, and I can't make it comprehensible for our daughter, but I can be there for them, just like Mikayla always was." So far, one question has kept Ethan going. What would Mikayla do? The answer to which is clear.
I know that she wouldn't want this place to fall apart, and she would want us to continue to help as many animals as we can, so that's what we're gonna do.
With an overwhelming amount of public support and donations, SaveAFox's mission to help as many foxes and animals as possible lives on, despite the founder's death.
I've never seen so much love outpoured for anyone online, honestly, and I hope that she can see it, and I hope that she can feel it.
What also remains is a lesson to check on your loved ones.
Please keep an eye on those around you. Look for the signs because they are there. Do something or say something before it's too late.